Hey guys, Virgin Vinyl with you again today. So this time I've got some more death metal. This is, I guess, like first generation Swedish death metal, and that is the mighty Merciless, The Awakening. This thing is a beast. Let's take it out of the thing. Oh, look at this beautiful splatter vinyl. So cool, man. I think that's like got to be one of my favorite of my splatter vinyls that I have. I really like the Gorguts one too, which is really colorful, but this one just sort of seems to suit the record a little bit better than that, maybe the Gorguts one. Absolutely cool. And the labels on there are really cool as well, like just old school. There we go. Where is that? Yeah. Hang on, is that upside down? Yeah, that's upside down. Yeah, so I picked this up a couple of weeks ago actually. There's the cover without the plastic on it. I'll put it like this for a sec so it doesn't blow away. There we go. All right, Merciless, The Awakening. This thing is awesome. There's the guys on the back, the young lads. And inside you get this is what yeah, I think actually the record was inside that, but I don't like to keep it in there. There we go, pictures of the guys, collage, and then there's also, comes with this paper, a piece of A4 paper with the lyrics. Very underground, very cool. I gotta say as well, like the Merciless logo is so damn cool. It's always been like one of my favorite death metal logos there. It looks so fucking killer. I love it. I love it. And I love this album. It's just so raw and pulverizing and unrelenting, you know? Like, This is like, you know, one of the things I like about the first wave of death metal, you know, in the 80s, is how much of the thrash is in there as well. Like, so it's got a lot of speed, but it's also like, you know, it's really got a lot of that sort of venom in there. It's got a lot of punk in there, and it's got a lot of like, it's just raw and nasty sounding, like, and cavernous. The production on here, I mean, I just love this sound, and it suits these songs perfectly. You know, like if these songs were all redone, like all modern and perfect and slick, like the way everything fucking sounds now, it would suck all the life out of it. But this album is like a great example of what I'm always complaining about with modern metal and modern music in general. But I think for me, I care most about it in metal. Metal seems to be most affected of the genres that I care about. Because, you know, like for example, I was listening to the new Rivers of Nile album. You know, it's like, oh, I remember like when I was getting into tech death around 2014, 2015, and the years after that for a while, I quite liked some of their stuff. For a little while, like what's that? Where Owls Have No Name, I think, was the album that I thought was pretty cool. But anyway, I was listening to their new album, and it just summed up everything I hate about modern metal. It just sounded so slick and clean, and like plugins, and like it just sounded like it's come out of the computer. It doesn't sound like a band playing. And yeah, it's technically very proficient and everything like that, and I'm sure the guys are great players and all of that stuff. But I just hate the way it sounds, and I hate the way it feels. It's too perfect. It's too clean. There's no raw energy in it anymore. You know, it just sounds like computer game music to me or something. You know, in contrast to this, which is heavy as fuck, raw, nasty, driving. I mean, and you know, it's far less technical, but it just sounds so much more intense and real. Like this sounds like just a bunch of fucking long-haired louts, you know, cranking their fucking amps to the max and smashing the drums to the, you know, extent of their abilities and just pushing everything to the limit. And it sounds amazing for it. I love everything about this album. I love the art. I love the logo. It like going through the songs, like Pure Hate is such a rampaging, awesome way to open an album. It's just so fucking cool. And then like Souls of the Dead. It's funny because like I've mentioned on this channel before, I'm actually usually pretty bad with the whole name 3 songs thing, because all my life, most of the time when I've been listening to music, like the space that I listen to music is usually on either on my Walkman or in the car. I did very little sitting next to the stereo and listening to music and holding the record in my hand, like the back cover, and looking at the song names and memorizing the song names and shit like that. Most of the time I was like, I had my Walkman on while I was walking somewhere, or riding my bike somewhere, or going to school, or whatever the fuck. Or when I got a car, then I'd be listening to CDs in the car, not looking so much at the names. So anyway, like, this is a prime example of that Souls of the Dead. I always thought it was Soul Sucking Dead, because of the way you go, Soul Sucking Dead. That's what it sounds like to me. So I've always thought it was that, but it's Souls of the Dead. The Awakening is awesome. Dreadful Fate. So all of these are just rampaging death metal goodness. It's you know, it's, I guess, death thrash, you could call it that, but you know, this is first generation death metal. This was recorded in 1989 in Sweden. Recorded at Tuna Studios between the 2nd and the 6th of July in 1989. So 4 days to pump out this absolute kick-ass album. They have done more albums since then, which are also really good. But for me, this is the GOAT. This one right here, absolutely ferocious. You know, like, I want my death metal to sound like a band playing, you know. I don't want it to sound all perfect and manicured and snap to the grid and perfectly in time and you know, like perfectly clean guitar sound and everything, you know, locked in perfectly. It just sounds boring like that. It's like, it's impressive on one level if a band can play like that for real, you know, and they're just so tight that it sounds like that because they're playing like that. But you know that on the record, like when they're recording drum takes, like, I guarantee you, like, let's say 99% of the albums you're hearing these days, the drums have been edited. And I don't mean like edited as in pieced together. I mean the beats have been moved to be on the grid. So it's not the performance. It's not the human performance of the drummer anymore. And same with some, in many cases, same with some of the other instruments as well. They've also been corrected or locked in, and sometimes like compressed all to hell. And you know, the effects all come out of the same sort of simulators and all that shit. Just give me a roaring amp with some fucking with heaps of distortion, and a drummer going nuts on the kit, just like this, and that's death metal. That's the way it should be. Just fucking unhinged, the vocals sound fucking demonic and unhinged on here, and that's the way it should be. That's the way death metal is supposed to sound. Wild and unruly. It's not meant to be all clean and nice and user-friendly. Stop with that shit already. Please, bands out there, young bands, go and listen to this, go and study this, and, you know, fucking learn what real death metal is, and stop doing that fucking clean ass bullshit you're doing, because it's boring as hell. Although on the other hand, you know, I can totally understand you guys turning around saying, yeah, well, shut up, old man, like, what do you know? That's the way we like it now. So, you know, like, there's some validity to that, because, you know, at the end of the day, like, each generation has the thing that they like and that they want to do creatively, but honestly, I don't see any of the. I find it hard to believe that any of the modern death metal bands will stand the test of time. You know, like that in 30 years from now, like, we'll be talking about them like the way we talk about this. You know, I just don't see it happening. So, you know, this is like 36 years old, and here I am talking about it, and all the like real death metal fans know this is a classic. So there you go. Eat your heart out, Rivers of Nile, and fucking just stick a mic next to your amp and fucking record it loud and mean, and I don't know. Sometimes I like wonder, like, is there any point even bitching about all this stuff? Because like, everybody these days is so entrenched in whatever position they take when it comes to an argument, and nobody has an open mind anymore. You know, in this sort of information age that we live in, like, everybody seems to like think they know every fucking thing, and they're all entrenched in their positions, and no one seems open to, you know, like, hearing somebody else's argument out and sort of evaluating it on its own merits. You know, doesn't matter what the subject is, whether it's about music, whether it's about politics, whether it's about religion, whether it's about relationships. You know, I think everybody's just like, I don't know what it is, but I think it's just like, we're so bombarded with fucking information, good information and bad information, that it's just, you know, easier for people to sort of feel like their position is validated, because whatever insane position people take, they'll be able to find other people online or out there in the world who feel the same way as them, you know, no matter how absurd or retarded it is. So anyway, all I would say is that the cure to that is go and fucking listen to some sick ass, demented, ripping, roaring, fucking unforgiving death metal like this shit right here. Alright guys, hit the like and subscribe button if you can. Let me know what your thoughts are on Merciless, and we'll see you tomorrow.